and say hello to Mr. Lizard. He's like arms reach away from me right now. He came up inside. I told him I'm chill. Me and him have been having some chats. Little lizard? Hello, lizard. It's kind of nice. I don't know if they trust me necessarily, but the little creature doesn't seem to be scared of me. Me and them are making eye contact right now. I'm just gonna lay back, nice and comfy. It's literally getting closer to me. It's on the cushion next to me right now. Look at that. It's so cute. Lizard is behind me back right now. Today's stream topic is about being part of everything and all of the parts there is to everything. I feel the fact that lizards are a part of the everything is something that makes me happy. I don't know why necessarily. I think it's because of their adaptability to this environment. Might have something to do with a childhood memory. You know, today's stream topic is about the parts that make up the everything. And the everything that is me, everything that is me, is in part made up of what I went through as a child as well. And I remember like the second time we ever went to the ocean. We went to these rock faces, and at these rock faces, there were a bunch of geckos. And they were big geckos. Like my little child hand could like hold on to the gecko, and there was still head and limbs and tail and legs on the other side. Ask me how I know. And I caught one of these geckos, and I was so stoked about having a gecko. I was like fantasizing about building a little cage and catching bugs and feeding my gecko all of these bugs. But my dad didn't let me get to keep the gecko, unfortunately. I had to go and free it back at the beach again. But I think that definitely did cement in me a certain love of the reptiles. I really do love snakes as well. I have a certain fascination with the way they move. And I have held a fair bit of snakes in my life, from pythons, you know, those big ones that go around your shoulders, to small little ones that twirl around your arms. And I don't know if I love them for the same reason that I love snakes, the lizards, that is. But I wonder, right? Because many people fear these creatures. And we find ourselves now in an age where conspiracy theories are more available to our minds than ever before. And the whole lizard people and the earth is being made warmer to accompany the lizard people kind of dialogues, right? I wonder if that also drives the stake of fear of reptiles deeper in our minds too. I'm I'm scared that I'm gonna squish the lizard. That's what my mind is like stressing about. Maybe the cushions will be, you know, soft enough that they'll have enough give. I thank you, friends, for finding a moment here. I'm like literally talking to myself right now for the last 4 minutes, but so it be sometimes. I got to share a little bit about my past, about some of the parts that make up my everything. Yeah. The way today's stream topic is manifesting in my mind is that everything is a part of everything, right? And if you value everything, then you should value the parts of everything as well, including these parts. of the everything. The parts that might not be, I want to say, as spectacular, right? And I feel like that's again maybe my own dopamine. Spectacular is supposed to look like. Why do I have the gall to label this experience not spectacular? Hey, the sound quality is fine. This sound quality is fine. The days I show up a few minutes late is usually because I'm fixing breakfast. Today it's a baked potato. That does sound nice. I haven't had baked potato in almost 2 years now. Do you put any? We shouldn't talk about food, so my mind is like, do you put cream cheese and chives, bits of bacon, diced caramelized onions? Yes, good. Good. I have some of Fino 1 in here. Fino 1 is usually the one that's like very gong, hits me hard. Did I just get a message? Yeah. So without further ado, I'm going to make this a part of my everything. Cream cheese, Chinese bacon, no, just pink salt, olive oil, and grass-fed butter. Double fats though. I mean, that sounds nice. That does sound nice. Part of the everything. Again, and I've shared this many times before, the way I try to see this topic, this parts of everything, is from the perspective of trying to teach myself how to live in a space of non-judgment. Because again, as stated earlier, our ego has an idea of what good is. For example, it's kind of hot today, and this space that I'm in is particularly hot as well. I opened some doors, I opened some extra doors, I opened some doors and windows just so that there's some airflow going through here. And in that way, there are conditions that are non-ideal in my mind, according to me. But it's also a part of the everything, right? Confronted with experiences that I do not appreciate, while at the same time appreciating them. Is it possible? Am I expecting the impossible of myself? I think it's a matter of reframing again. Because I'm trying to address a concern in my own psyche that can be reduced to something as simple as it is hot and I am uncomfortable, and that makes me unhappy. Right? There are many experiences like that that generate heat in our experience, and it makes us unhappy. There are many parts when it comes to this planet, many parts when it comes to people, many parts when it comes to the roles we play. And today I had a conversation with Cody, with Waldo first, and then with Cody. I'm going to be helping man a art gallery. at Earth Dawns. That's happening the 22nd of September. They'll pay for my ticket and I'll get paid in commissions if anything is sold. I'll take my own art as well. And again, I feel like there is this part in me that I need to learn to play, and that is actually selling my art to people. I would be very happy if I could gain an extra Patreon supporter over the weekend. Maybe I could manage that. I'll see if I can push buttons well enough. Right? If anything, it's gonna be good practice. Hey, Gateways, you're with us. Heady topic. How are you, ma'am? Heading to New York City in an hour. Not going to the psychic. How about that? Bless you. Safe travels, Jules. I hope you have fun in New York City. It is through the acceptance of the truth of the anatta that our nature is one of being unhurt that releases that unhappy shit. Ah, that's a choice. Are they a table wrapper? A table wrapper? Did I miss something? Maybe I should. That's a choice. Are they a table wrapper? I'm confused. To call a spiritualist or a card reader a table wrapper is to say that they're engaging in the practice dishonestly. I don't know if that's necessarily the case. I just remember us talking about that last time. I don't know if you were there for that conversation, but Gateway Process told us about a psychic that she saw in New York City last time she was there. And the reading she got from said psychic felt accurate to her. And she potentially wanted to go and have another one. And now she's still going to New York City, but according to her, she's not intending to go and see the psychic. Which is not something that I would have had a problem with if she did want to. But the advice, the part I played last time is in sharing that even though they might be right, they might be wrong, they will influence you, right or wrong, right? By giving you a prediction of your life. You might end up living the life they predict just because that's how suggestible a human being can be, right? And that could be a good thing if this person has the best and most idyllic hopes for your life, but it can also be a bad thing if they don't. So, and it's a matter of so many parts. They might not have had a good day in that day, and it could have been, right, taken out on you. As a simple, low definition example. It comes from the Victorian era when specialized tables for the purpose of fooling folks with simple tricks better suited to a musician stage. I think this one is genuine. I just don't think I need to bring that energy into my life. There we go. Yeah. That is wisdom, Gateway. Exactly. I don't want that influence. I'm too malleable. There we go. You know, and I think just knowing yourself like that is already a step in the right direction, Gateway. I think your future is going to be beautiful, right? Because you're going to be in it and you're going to get to experience it. And I know you try to live life beautifully, so there you go. Psychic reading, boom. Get psychicized. You don't have to go to the. You got malleable by me now. You don't have to go to them. These tables were created usually to the order of each psychic and would contain several compartments the woodwinker would tap on during the ceremonies to produce whatever fantastical effect they needed. Thank you, dear friend. All right, I just hit my Dynavap, but how about second Dynavap hit? How about that? This is now gonna be a part of my everything. My intention is to see more parts at the same time. I had 3 bowls for breakfast and only 2 were cereal vibes today. Exactly. Worky lurky, lovey doveys, UV goovies, UV boogies. Love UVs. Thank you, Joe, for joining us. Even in your work lurkedness, you are appreciated. Click. Hmm. Seeing more parts of the whole, huh? What does that even mean? How many parts of the whole can I see? How many parts of the whole do I want to see? Because I feel, unfortunately, one of the prerequisites of being a human being is the fact that you can only see in part. I wonder if you had to go from one person to another, if there would be a measurable difference between how much of the everything they can see. Will we eventually develop tests to determine how much everything you can see? Is that something that will be valuable? And then recognizing that there are experiences on this planet that quite literally allow you to see more of the everything. And it doesn't just have to be psychedelic. It can be like having a child, I think. As soon as you have a child, you suddenly see more of the everything, right? You see what your parents saw and what their parents saw before them. In a way, you can only see it when you do, right? Same thing with business. Same thing with your spiritual approach. Same thing with your skills. There are so many parts to all of these things that we do, and we can acquire more and more of those parts. And as a result, we have more and more parts of the everything, or at least the everything that is our everything. All right. Thinking about if I had to say the word everything to you, and I had to tell you, I want you to get everything you love and bring it all into one place. Everything you love and bring it into one place. How much stuff would there be? How much would there be in your everything? I think one of the things that's beautiful is the fact that everything is growing actively. Right. The more we live, the more of the everything we love. Sam, I like that. That's going down on a piece of paper for me to find and giggle. I had 3 bowls of breakfast and only 2 were cereal. Love is true. Everything you love into one place. Are we restarting the food conversation? Funny, Sam. Like, again, right? With the food thing, that's such a small part of the everything. Right? I love Jupiter. I do. But having Jupiter and my family in one place doesn't really serve them. Right? Having my cheeseburger and my family in one place doesn't really serve the cheeseburger because it's gonna, get eaten before I can get. So I guess it is a matter of it's again a matter of how much is everything to you. Do you have 50 billion cheeseburgers? Like to the left, and then to the right you have Jupiter, and then somewhere in the middle you have your family. Right? Like what everything is to you is probably different as to what everything is to me. If I say it means everything to me, how much is that? Again. The pit is gonna be filled with grilled cheese and Chinese food. I mean, I like grilled cheese as much as the next person. But do I love grilled cheese? Unfortunately, I feel my love of something is irreversibly attached to its love of me. Right? Like, I might love a cheese sandwich, a grilled cheese sandwich, but I don't think it loves me in the same way that it does give me energy, but maybe some of it isn't exactly good for me. So again, it would have to be a moderation thing. I would have a cheese sandwich as a nice to have, like a like. I like this. This is something I like, but because I like it, I'm not gonna do it every single day. Kind of vibes. Where love is something you'd want to have in your life all the time. Mhm. Right? Right, Shirley? Shirley? Chocolate chip cookies were invented during the Great Depression. These beautiful things came about during a really hard time in our history, and to me, a chocolate chip harnesses pure joy. I think your American chocolate chip cookies have like more going for it than our chocolate chip cookies here on South African side. The pure joy is so rare to come by, but that it can be given in these small doses is magical to me. It is true, right? Like my mom is a baker and she sells her baked goods. And seeing the amount of happiness that my birthday cake would bring children when it was my birthday, they would literally scrape the bottom of the baking pan with rulers to try and get every single bit of chocolate cake out of it. It was kind of surreal witnessing. But it did make me realize the level of love people have for food. And also maybe ignorance in some ways to how many different things there are, right? The level of parts. If every single type of meal, every recipe had to be seen as a part of the everything, there's so many parts that people have never seen in their lives, right? And it is kind of an honor, a magic, to quote Sam, to be able to give people that. Kristen, love to you, friend. Talk Dad's here too. I'll talk about all your parts consensually. I have a leg, and I have another leg, and I have an arm. You have another arm. You get these ears. You get these lippers. Your noser. Your eyeballs. How about that, bro? How about that? Look at us having parts. Being these parts of the everything. Being able to use these parts of the everything to manipulate parts of the everything. I'm lurky while I tear apart and service my home air conditioner on a 115 Fahrenheit day. That seems very hotter. Shouldn't it be getting cold on your side? It's like cooking on this side as well, bro. Guess we're getting global warming. Bro, that is fucking miserable. I mean, I'm trusting that that air conditioner is gonna get fixed. Hopefully, it's something simple like a loose wire. Hopefully, you still got gas in it. I'm trusting them. Oh, tell me more about these legs. Are they long? I don't know if I have long legs, to be honest. Alright? Like, you would have to tell me. I wouldn't look at my legs and be like, yeah, look at these long legs I have. My legs feel very proportional, relatively speaking. Why are these cards like doing everything in their power to escape me grasp? You should tell me stop. No, okay. Hmm. I did technically swap it around. I did pull it the upside. Wait, today. It's card 13. It's the card I associate with Christian. Hmm. 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 Dolphin Merkaba. I like that color combination today. Now, on my body or in the card? Or maybe you're talking about the full fit, the purple into flowers and stuff. On your body. Okay, good. The air conditioner is not necessarily broken. It's very much underperforming. Probably because I have not cleared and serviced it since we bought it 6 years ago. But the time has been tough and busy. I mean, good. Good. Good that it's not broken. That's already uh, light at the end of the metaphorical tunnel. You cleaning it is just going to, as you said, increase its efficiency and cool your home for less energy, I'm sure. Card number 13, the Dolphin Merkaba. Let me read what that means. Joy and cooperation. The geometry of this card results from the interpenetration of two tetrahedrons, forming a beautiful configuration called the star tetrahedron, or Merkaba. The Merkaba is believed to be a vehicle of dynamic balance and expanded awareness, and is seen as a multidimensional vehicle of travel. This image was inspired by witnessing wild dolphins form this amazing geometry. These beings exude the vibration of joy and cooperative play, and some believe they hold a key to multidimensional travel. Seeing dolphins play with these geometries help us to understand the universality of the messages. Choosing this card asks you to connect with the joy that resides within you. We occasionally forget to exercise our joy factor. One message of the dolphins is that joy and laughter are always available, and through cooperation, we can share the joy of living. Visualize yourself as playing in this dolphin Merkaba and deeply experiencing pure joy. How can you better express your joy? How can you bring more laughter into your everyday life and share the way it feels? Joy is infectious. Become its expression. That is an interesting card to pull. You know, I feel like in parts I have played this role of trying to share as much joy as I possibly can. For the process, for the experience, for the fun that there is to have for the cooperative play, right? There is a cooperative play that happens in these streams amongst us friends as well. Cooperative play. It's interesting because the the parts in my life that inspired talking about parts of the everything does very much have this theme of cooperative play. I'm having conversations with individuals that have this idea of creating a cooperative play space amongst themselves where they come together and instead of depending, to say it in so many words, on a festival to create the space for them to be able to dance and be amongst themselves and each other, they can do that for themselves. And I'm seeing a lot of cooperative play in that experience. Mm. All of the parts of the everything. Your memories as parts of the everything as well. Cooperative play. Well, the US is out. Oh, Sam. I don't think the US is out necessarily. I think the US may have just forgotten that that is an option. The two-party system. Instead of making it a cooperative play, it became a competition. And unfortunately, the competition is also backed by personality, by the cults of personality on both sides, honestly. You know, I don't think either side is really exempt from the whole cult of personality fractals. My mind is screaming socialism. I'm not socialism, socialism, I don't know. It's like a matter of ignorance, I think, for me. I don't know enough. I don't know enough to talk about politics. But I do know it's a part of the everything, right? It is a part of the everything. It's a part of this experience we're in right now. And having the internet, being able to see these things unfold in real time the way it does is definitely illuminating all of our minds at the same time as to how ridiculous and absurd this whole experience is. Where I'm thinking about the whole fractal of the amount of money being spent on wars.
Yeah, like that is literally like paying for the decline of humanity instead of paying to progress. Like that's the worst. That is literally the worst part. That so much money in this world is like flowing for the decline of humanity.
And it
like
is
even something as simple as cigarettes, alcohol, which I'm guilty of as well. It's like literally money is being made off of the decline of human
crazy.
life, and yeah, like even in the medicine industry, like some things that could have maybe already have been cured, but they can make money more off of treating something.
Just thinking about it from a research perspective, like, oh, we're gonna research this like be all end all cure that you only use once. And people are like, yeah, we're not gonna give you money to fucking research that though.
Yeah,
Vliegen al muren.
yeah, because they're not gonna make money. But human life will be exponentially increased.
Our country recently signed the NHI bill, which is National Health Insurance. And with it, they're literally aiming to abolish private healthcare, dude, and abolish insurance. Like, under it, you're not allowed to have insurance for medical
Okay.
care. And it's like a yikes on one level.
What is gonna happen with our private hospitals and institutions, though?
They're probably just going to get reskilled, though, or they're gonna figure out some sort of compensation package for the doctors that they can accept and still get
Taxpayer
paid.
money type
Yeah.
vibes.
Like, again, the fractal of the AI future is upon us, and gene editing is upon us, and it's going to be cheaper to do AI gene editing than it is going to be to do any other treatment that we have available to people right now in the short term. So, yeah, our country is going to have to either fall completely apart or again leapfrog, and we've done that multiple times before. Technological leapfrogging. Let's hope we end up on the good side of the
I'm just
fractals.
gonna go and burn this elsewhere.
May have just forgotten that that is an option. I don't know what about our pirate republic ever convinced you people that they were here to make friends. Social welfare policies are a necessary framework for our society. Socialism by and by is a boogeyman conjured up by conservatives who belong to the party of steal everything that ain't nailed down. Yeah. And I don't know if you're saying conservatives are saying that that is what socialism is. The way I understand socialism is that human beings are the thing that is of value in the economy. And if you understand what the economy is and how the market works, you understand that that's actually the truth, right? Things are not valuable. Things are only as valuable as people think they are. In other words, without people thinking, there is no value. Without people, there is no thinking, right? Like it's a matter of, humanity for me. If a conservative can convince the public to see that a program like universal healthcare is an unnecessary expense, then they get to cut it. But in order to do that, they have to dehumanize the very people those programs are designed to support. Yeah, that's why the whole Matrix moment that we had in the American politics was so quickly forgotten, made unimportant, just swept under the rug, because that political candidate literally for his whole candidacy beforehand was desensitizing people to gun violence, telling people to get over it, kind of vibes, literally telling people to get over it, and then he gets shot at and then people get over it. Surprise, surprise. So it's like this matter of it goes both ways, is what I feel, Sam. They can dehumanize us, but by doing so, they literally take away from themselves the thing keeping them safe, right? Humanity. If they dehumanize us to the point where we're all animals,
Yeah.
then we're gonna behave like animals.
My only thought that could be problematic with what you were speaking about is if they bring race and BEE stuff into the equation.
What do you mean?
With what you said is nationally free, yes, but because of the percentages, like look at the conditions of our staatshospitalen, which are free, is our general quality of health gonna drop substantially because of it? Is basically what I'm...
Probably. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's gonna happen, and the only way to counter that is to adopt new technology. Right, and that technology, hopefully it catches up to us before our medical industry drops. It's gonna be like a touch and go, probably.
I like to put reference to friends, like the difference between a staatshospital and a private hospital in South Africa is like walking into a horror movie.
I mean, people still have had life-changing and life-saving help from a Staatshospital that they got for free.
Yeah,
That would have
it
been
has
unavailable
helped
to
people.
them.
I'm just also, it has like caused lots of issues as well, unsanitary conditions,
Again,
lack of equipment working, lack of medicine to treat.
there
these.
is fortunately a lot of money. You know, there is more than enough money for these kind of things.
There should
And
be.
again, like any intelligent government understands intrinsically. I know you're laughing. Our government might not be very intelligent, but I think they have enough intelligence to understand this part. Uh, if you do not have a healthy population, you do not have an economy either, right? Like it's literally profitable for your government to make sure your people are taken care of because that means they work longer. That means that when they are pensioners, they don't get as sick, they don't get as many medical, like it's
Mm.
like that stuff is sinking into the collective psyche slowly but surely. Like it's even the stupid among us also have cell phones these days and also have the internet and also have ChatGPT. Weirdly enough, I think that's gonna help a lot though. Just having fucking ChatGPT, bro, where it's gonna have all of these policies already as pre-trained, information, and they're like, yes, take care of people, please.
So because you're like pro longevity and stuff as well, right? So do you think that the longevity of like a single generation that's just biologically immortal, like biologically, you can still fucking die too, like accidents or whatever, but you won't get sick and die or grow old and die. Would that be better for humanity's trajectory or worse than a generational?
I believe we will have to do both, where we'll like there's still gonna be people dying and there's still gonna be people opting out kind of that experience, but there will be like a version of humanity that's gonna be like long lived, and then there will be those versions of humanity having kids as well, bringing generational people into the world. But I think the whole fact that we are probably going to see the peak of our human population in our lifetimes kind of incentivizes us to live longer because with our current system as it is, of capitalism as it is, it completely falls apart if there is no infinite upwards growth, right? Literally, if we spend 4 years just going down, like everything's fucked according to capitalism, like big fuck, big bad, not good, right? And with the literal population of the species dropping by billions, over 50 years,
Yeah.
suddenly there's billions less dollars being spent in the economy every year. So that's the
I do believe the longevity is technically superior. The reason is because we have potential for infinite growth as individuals, right? We're limited by time and we're limited by our biological death. That creates like a ceiling. And yes, with generations, that ceiling does increase, like generation. But if there's just no time ceiling for you, you can infinitely learn and infinitely grow and infinitely improve.
But you can also be infinitely stuck in a certain perspective.
You can, yes, because
And like that's where I believe there will still always be value in bringing new generations into the world because they will
the
be
drive.
they will be
and,
given a perspective that will change the way they get to create a future, right? And that's the whole fractal of, people in their 70s running as presidents. Oh, it's a mongoose on the mountain.
I see. Climber 5000.
He's cute. They grew up in a world that's so radically different from the world we're living in right now
Yeah.
that they do not have the wherewithal and the perspective to actually help. Yes, they might be wise in some way.
But I do think our generation is very much on the cusp of just being able to change with the change, to adapt with the change, because it's happening with us, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
For them, they were already like past their primes as human beings, and their mental infrastructure had already been
Established,
set,
yeah.
established before all this change just started.
Like, dude, think about it, bro. Like, Donald Trump was 50 years old by the time I was born.
Yeah, we've grown with constant change. Like, there has never been a state of non-change for us, especially technologically and advancements wise.
Bro, just thinking about cars, like the amount of change.
AI even.
Bro, like, the AI thing for me feels like, I knew that was coming.
Dude, I remember in primary school, right, for school projects and stuff, like having to like use early search engines like Google and early Bing and like Millistrong and stuff
Millistrong,
to
holy
get
shit.
information and stuff.
I forgot the word Millistrong.
Right? So we use all these primitive tools, and now it's like everyone has it for instant knowledge, like right here. No.
Bro, yeah, it is gonna radically change the way we interface with the world. Today's stream topic was about parts of the everything. And AI, as we have it right now, is like literally a parts of everything machine. Like the language parts of the everything that machine is.
And I do think that integration is the next inevitable step to bypass the delay of having to go from input into a device to get output instead of just.
There will still be a delay.
Yes, but it will be much faster.
I think delay is not really the problem. I think bandwidth is the problem, right? Because like if you like you don't really worry. Like there is technically a delay on movie, right?
Yeah.
But what happens is there's a buffer that is trained, and there is so much bandwidth to be able to train that buffer, right? So there could be delays, for example, if you don't have enough bandwidth on your Wi-Fi, and that's technically what's happening right now when it comes to our input, because the computer can do things, but it's waiting literally for you to click this thing and then click that thing and then such, and then so that's what a PCI is going to enable you to do, is like input gang bits of information.
Yes. Yeah.
And then potentially, eventually, receiving
the output just as fast.
Exactly. Well, maybe not as fast, but as like clearly.
Yeah.
Receiving the true information instead of interpretation by your eyes and then your central nervous system. Humanity. We are going to experience so many parts of the everything.
Another inside voice within our lifetime.
A fourth layer, dude.
Like another consciousness that is like floating there.
I don't think it's going to be a consciousness as much as it's going to be a like layer. It's going to be like a layer to you, right? So the way I imagine this layer is going to be is that as you can like, I don't know if you can, for me at least, I can feel a sense of spaciousness in here, right?
Yeah.
And then the way I see it is as that layer is going to go on top of you, you can just put things in that space.
Yeah, all that.
You can just have like tabs
Cool.
going upwards, right? And then it's like, yeah, I can't see above my head technically, right? My field of vision ends around there, but now I have all of this real estate that I can put my digital, consciousness.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's gonna be a little bit jarring to have a consciousness. I mean, like again, I can have a conversation with you, but you're not in me.
But
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I'm hearing your voice, but I can very much be like, yeah, he's there and he's saying things over there. Having a chip in your brain and then it having a conscience of its own. Did you ever see Upgrade?
Mm,
Yeah.
yes.
Suddenly the chip is like, oh wait, bro, fucking it's walking your body around. No thank yous. All right. Demonize. Right, the Panama Papers were groundbreaking, and then the journalist who broke the story got off, then it disappeared. Her name is Daphne Anne Caruana Galizia, and she was assassinated with a car bomb for telling the truth. The people in control of the resources will fight to the death to stay where they are. But that's the thing, they will fight to the death, and they are gonna eventually die. Right. And then there's no more things to fight over. The resources on our planet is grand and vast. And when it comes to energy, that is the thing that we have been beholden to for the longest time. Right? We had to depend on grand industry and governments to just have electricity, to just have heating, to just have fuel to put in our vehicles. And with the renewable revolution that we're actively entering, all of those things are suddenly no longer true, right? And that is suddenly no longer true for millions, if not billions of people overnight, right? They go from having to pay the government X amount of money every single month, and then the government sometimes just switches their electricity off for no particular reason, to having energy from the sun every day because the sun shines every day, right? Like that is a mental shift that changes people, like, and I think is going to do a lot for us. And I mean the internet fractal is the other thing that our country is gonna again try and fight. But they will not succeed. We will get more parts of the everything. I appreciate you friends for joining me, spending a moment for being a part of this everything today. I hope you have a beautiful day. I hope you get to experience things that you want to have a part of your everything. I hope that when you experience things that you don't want to have a part of your everything, you get to acknowledge that it is part of everything and everything is beautiful. So maybe it's not so bad. I hope that doesn't happen though still. And I love you, dear friends. So one last message. Oh yeah, private LSPs are common here, and they're fucking pirates, just like everyone else. ISPs, internet service providers. Yeah. Yeah, as you be.
Also gonna be a relic of the past somewhat soon.
It's already possible.
Yeah, that's what with the whole Starlink thing, and once the grid is fully settled and everywhere,
It just needs
literally there's no other requirement for internet.
not realistically. I mean, still for people that want to play games.
Yeah, but if you have Starlink and the infrastructure for servers,
Technically, yeah.
everywhere.
The ping is also actually
Yeah.
more than good enough. You're right.
For
That's
us,
true.
it's just bad because we don't have the infrastructure
That's
for
local.
server in South Africa.
It's
It
true.
only was-
And I mean, with that new Starlink Mini, bro, like you can put that thing in the backpack.
Yeah.
Like I want one. It's so expensive. It's $300 a month to run it though. to run it. Yeah, it's like still beta testing period. Just to put it in your backpack, and then it's like, and I think the hardware is a little bit cheaper than our hardware was.
But still,
I want
paying half that price every month.
My villa wordt afgeblazen.
Every month I get
Financially
financially
abused.
abused.
No, please. They're doubling the price of the Starlink this month. Bruh, in my mind, you know what? I'm not even gonna give it power. I'm not even gonna give it power.
After week's work.
Go away, yeah. It's work. And it shall continue. Love is truth.
We didn't
Siobhan.
even need to fix it, so it never broke.
Love you, exactly.
Mm.
Exactly. Notorious bad service, but they're the only two large scale providers who only have two choices in their products. I mean, there is now a third option at least. Right? You do live in America, luckily, so you get to have it legally. I know you probably would rather, you know, stub your toe against a sharp surface than support Iroma, Sam, but you do have that option. And we do not have any other options, right? There are like Telkom and Cell C and MTN and Vodacom and Rain and
We literally don't have the towers or anything for any of the networks.
yeah, we ain't got no options. But somehow, literally, some dude in America managed to get us internet in South Africa, bro. Isn't that a joke, bro? The people that we literally have to pay taxes to cannot manage that. But some guy.
Who was born here.
I mean, yeah, who was actually born here, and he didn't do it alone. That's true. He had a lot of help.
But some guy did have the drive and the vision to get it there.
True. And it's gonna fund the missions to Mars as well, technically. We call those fruitstat ISPs. You
I
can
know.
sign up in the mall at the kiosk with some oily-haired Brandon. Jeez. Poor Brandons.
I don't
Love
know
is
that.
true. I thank you, friends, for joining me. Have a good day. You were loved and appreciated. You are strong and powerful. You are a part of the everything. Quite literally. And that's pretty radical. I'll see you again soon. To be more part of the everythings. Love you. Cheers, dear friends. Goodbyes.